Okay, so let's dive right in today.
Yeah, let's get started.
We're looking at some pretty complex intelligence documents.
Very complex.
It's about this Black Ops mission. Starts off as, well, supposedly a rescue.
Right, a rescue operation.
Yeah.
But it gets messy, really messy.
Yeah, ends up stretching from South Korea all the way to Saudi Arabia. Just this international nightmare, basically.
Totally. The initial goal sounded straightforward. Find Captain Trevor Schmidt, elite soldier, Special Forces.
Right. He supposedly went missing after some kind of vague incident in the Persian Gulf.
But that whole premise, it was built on shaky ground from the start, maybe even a deliberate lie.
And the guys brought in to handle it are Jonathan Payne and David Jones, former Special Forces themselves.
Not just any former operators, though. This Colonel Harrington, U.S. Army, he picked them specifically.
Why them? What was special?
Well, Harrington needed their background. They were part of this highly classified unit called the Maniacs.
Maniacs.
Yeah.
Sounds intense.
It was. Not just a cool name. They were, like, specialized in advanced psych profiling, counter-intel, deep stuff.
Okay.
Basically, they were trained to think in ways completely outside the standard military doctrine. Harrington needed that different angle. He needed them to, think differently to crack this.
And they needed that unconventional thinking almost immediately, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
The investigation officially starts, or maybe derails, on Jeju Island, South Korea.
Exactly. That's where the supposed rescue mission just dissolves, and you start seeing the outline of the real conspiracy.
So Payne and Jones land in Jeju. What's the scene like?
Grim.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, the whole vibe is danger, cover-up. The first place they go is this lava tube cave.
Okay.
Heavily secured. Snipers. And even before they go in, Payne mentions the smell. He says it's worse than an autopsy.
Wow. Okay, that paints a picture.
Yeah, it's visceral. The team, they've got a translator, Kia, with them. They're all given surgical masks, booties, standard procedure, you might think.
But it wasn't standard, was it?
No. The driver tells them something chilling. He says the gear isn't to protect the scene from them. It's to protect them from the scene.
Oof. So what did they find inside?
Just carnage. Forensics confirms it pretty quickly using DNA profiles. Captain Schmidt's whole team, 4 men, they were all killed in there.
So not missing, killed.
Definitely. This wasn't a rescue gone wrong. It was a homicide scene. The amount of blood alone, there's no way anyone survived that.
So the mission just flips on a dime. No rescue. Now it's a murder investigation.
Right. But it gets even stranger. There was more to the cave than just the main chamber.
Like what?
A hidden back area, clearly used as some kind of makeshift prison. A holding cell.
And they found evidence there, too.
3 additional blood samples. Recent ones, but unidentified.
Unidentified, so not Schmidt's team.
No. This means Schmidt's team wasn't just defending themselves or something. They were holding people, maybe torturing them, killing them. Definitely not just a simple military team disappearance anymore.
Okay, this is already layers deep, and then there's the whole deception angle, right? With the forensics guy.
Ah, yes. Dr. Ernie Sheldon, the guy supposedly leading the forensic work at the cave.
Payne didn't buy it.
No, that maniac, he's training that intuition. It kicked in. He was suspicious. Snapped a picture, sent it off to his Pentagon contact, Randy Raskin. Asked for a deep background check, like right now.
And what did Raskin find?
This is where it gets really insidious. Raskin reports back, the real Dr. Ernie Sheldon, officially listed as deceased.
Deceased.
Or possibly operating under deep cover. And guess where? Fort Huachuca.
Wait, Fort Huachuca, that's major Army intelligence known for interrogation stuff, right? Like the heavy stuff.
Exactly. The sources specifically mention 97E training. Mind control experiments even. It's a place known for non-conventional methods, psychological manipulation.
So someone from our own intelligence apparatus specializing in deep interrogation is running a fake forensic scene against our guys.
Tells you everything, doesn't it? The investigation itself is being manipulated, controlled, misled.
Yeah.
From inside the U.S. military structure.
That's a massive betrayal. Payne and Jones must have realized they were in deep trouble.
Absolutely. They knew they were being watched, potentially steered by their own side.
And the investigation expands beyond the cave.
It does. They connect the cave to a village nearby, deserted, completely empty.
Not just empty, right?
No, another massacre. They find one survivor, an old man named Kim, and his testimony, it confirms the slaughter.
So the village killings happened after the cave incident.
Seems like it. Payne figures it was a cleanup operation. Someone escaped the cave or knew something, and the village was silenced to cover it up. to plug the leak.
Kim called the place something, didn't he?
Yeah, he was terrified. Called it Pue Janan, means the altar of blood. Just brutal, calculated execution.
So the original mission is completely shot. Rescue's out. Homicide investigation is sort of secondary now?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
For Payne and Jones, it becomes about revenge, sure, but mostly about figuring out what the hell is really going on. What massive plot required this level of violence and deception?
And they get a clue, right?
Yeah.
From the village.
Yes. From another survivor,
Yeah.
a young boy, young Sue Park. He survived the village massacre somehow. And he keeps repeating this phrase, just 2 words.
Which were?
Black stone.
Black stone. And that changes everything.
Instantly, it shifts the whole focus. Suddenly, it's not just about a rogue captain or a cover-up in Korea.
Yeah.
It's global. It points directly to Mecca, Saudi Arabia.
The black stone in Mecca. Let's pause on that. For anyone listening who isn't familiar, why is that specific stone so significant? Why target it?
It's incredibly important in Islam. It's set into the eastern corner of the Kaaba, the black cube structure in the Great Mosque in Mecca. Muslims pray towards it. Tradition says it fell from heaven. Science suggests maybe a meteorite or impact glass. So it's deeply sacred, not worshipped itself, but revered. Hitting it wouldn't just be terrorism. It would be seen as apocalyptic, an attack on the entire faith, on billions of people.
Okay, so the stakes just went sky high. And then comes the big twist about Schmidt himself.
Yeah, this is where Payne's suspicion pays off big time. Young Sue, the boy, his testimony eventually clarifies things. Captain Trevor Schmidt. He wasn't dead at all.
He faked his death.
He faked his death. The whole cave scene, the massacre of his own team, the village slaughter, that was Schmidt. Cleaning house. Cutting ties with Harrington, with U.S. military oversight, going completely rogue to pursue his real objective.
So the guy they were sent to rescue is the terrorist.
Bingo. And his target is the Blackstone. Young Sue recalled Schmidt saying something truly chilling.
What was that?
He says Blackstone come from heaven, but he sent it to hell.
Send it to hell, meaning destroy it, blow it up.
That's the only logical conclusion. And the timing he chose, just pure evil, really. He planned it for the Hajj.
The annual pilgrimage, when Mecca is packed with millions of Muslims.
Exactly. Maximum casualties, maximum shock value, utter global chaos.
But how? How do you attack the Kaaba effectively? He didn't target the Kaaba directly, did he?
No, and this shows the sophistication, the military mind behind it. He targeted the Abraj El Beit Towers complex.
The huge clock tower complex right next to the Grand Mosque.
That's the one. Built by the Bin Laden group, ironically. It's enormous, structurally modern. It gave Schmidt the perfect platform. A massive structure that, if it collapsed.
It would fall right onto the Kaaba, destroying it completely.
Precisely. And the how is terrifyingly clever. He used C4, yes, but specifically placed.
Where?
On these huge water tanks, like 40,000-gallon tanks, located high up in the mechanical penthouses of the towers.
Why the water tanks? Just for the explosion?
Not just that. These weren't just water reservoirs. They function as tuned mass dampers.
Okay, what are those?
Basically giant counterweights, often water tanks like these, designed into skyscrapers to stabilize them against wind or earthquakes. Schmidt knew that taking out these critical stabilizing elements at the top could trigger a catastrophic structural failure of the whole tower.
Clever. But C4 alone wouldn't guarantee a collapse like that, would it? Not on that scale.
Correct. He needed fire. Intense, sustained fire. The C4 was the trigger. Its job was to rupture the tanks.
But they were filled with water.
They were. Schmidt had already infiltrated the building's plumbing systems. He'd pumped aviation fuel, jet fuel, into those tanks, replacing the water.
Oh my God.
So the C4 explosion would rupture the tanks, atomize the jet fuel, creating this massive high-temperature fireball inside the top of the structure. Just like the physics seen in the World Trade Center collapse. Burning fuel melts steel. The tower comes down.
Onto the Kaaba. The planning is just chillingly precise. How did he get the plans? Security codes. Access to a building like that.
That goes back to the Jeju cave. Remember the unidentified blood samples of prisoners?
Yeah.
One of them, the one Schmidt tortured and killed, was a high-ranking Saudi official. Ministry of the Interior. Schmidt extracted blueprints, codes, everything he needed from him. Apparently, Schmidt thought this official was the terrorist leader he was hunting, someone named Hakim Salam.
So he tortured and killed his intelligence source, mistakenly believing he was the enemy, but got the info he needed for his own attack.
Exactly. The layers of misdirection and brutal pragmatism are just staggering.
Payne and Jones realized this. Time is critical. They have to get to Mecca. Now.
Yeah, they race there. Completely off the grid, relying purely on surprise.
Right.
And they get help, unexpectedly.
From who?
An archaeologist Shari Shazmin. They literally find her tied up near some tunnels she was exploring.
What was she doing there?
Turns out she was searching for something else entirely. Muhammad's original Quran transcripts, ancient, incredibly valuable documents. She ended up giving Payne and Jones crucial intel about getting inside the towers.
So they get in, disguised.
Yep. Traditional Saudi robes, thobes, gutras, blending in with the Hajj crowds. Inside the Abraj al-Bait complex, which is partly still under construction, making it a maze. Payne immediately starts directing his team. Search the mechanical floors, find the C4.
And Payne finds one of the bombs himself, right? On one of those massive tanks.
He does. And the tension is unbelievable. He's got no specialized tools, just a knife. Jones is guiding him remotely, talking him through it based on his own EOD knowledge.
There was a trick to it, wasn't there?
A deadly one. A hidden tripwire. Schmidt had embedded it near the base plate of the C4 charge. Payne had used the knife blade super carefully to trace around the charge and find it without setting it off. One wrong move.
Millions of lives on the line. Incredible pressure.
He manages it. Then they track down Schmidt himself, higher up in the tower.
Confrontation time. But they don't just go in guns blazing.
No, they use the Maniac's playbook. Psychological warfare. They cook up this elaborate lie on the spot. They tell Schmidt there's a nuclear threat in Mecca. Something even bigger than his plan. They convince him they need his expertise, as the only other operative who knows the building like he does, to help them disarm his own bombs to prevent this supposed nuclear catastrophe.
Wow. Playing on his ego, his warped sense of control.
And it works. Schmidt, thinking he's still somehow in charge, maybe even the hero in this new scenario, reveals where the other charges are.
So they've got him. Mission accomplished.
Almost. But then things get complicated. Before they can secure Schmidt properly, Saudi religious police show up.
A mutant.
Oh, great. More chaos.
Yeah. They arrive, see the standoff, maybe misunderstand it, fire a warning shot, and it hits Schmidt right in the throat. Kills him instantly.
So Schmidt is killed by local cops, essentially.
Right.
Not by Payne or Jones.
Exactly. Kind of anticlimactic for the main villain, but now Payne and Jones have a new problem. The Mutaween, their unauthorized deep cover. How do they get out of that?
Payne thinks fast. Sets off another C4 charge nearby as a diversion, a trap. They back off just in time. 10 giant steps, the report says. The blast takes out the immediate threat from the Mutaween, covers their escape.
They just barely make it out, running for their lives again.
Pretty much. But they do tie up one major loose end later.
Who's that?
The money man. Omar Abdul Khalik. He financed Shari Shazmin's dig, which was likely cover. He was probably Schmidt's main conspirator. They track him down and grab him at the Jeddah seaport.
And they find something else with him.
Yes. Critically, they recover the artifacts Shari was looking for, those ancient transcripts of Muhammad's revelations, potentially the earliest written version of the Quran.
Okay, so let's recap this whole insane story. We have a highly trained U.S. soldier, Schmidt, faking his death.
With some kind of internal assistance or manipulation possibly linked back to Fort Huachuca.
Right. He then orchestrates this incredibly sophisticated plot to destroy the Kaaba by collapsing the Abraj al-Bait towers using C4 and jet fuel in the tuned mass dampers.
During the Hajj for maximum impact. All facilitated by a wealthy Saudi insider, Omar Abdul Khalik.
Which leads us to that final, really provocative question. What was the ultimate goal here? Was it just about destroying the Black Stone? Causing chaos?
Or was the Mecca attack, as horrific as it would have been, also a kind of smokescreen? Think about it. Abdul Khalik is captured with those ancient Quran transcripts.
The ones Shuri was looking for.
Exactly. So, was the real play maybe twofold? Create unprecedented chaos by attacking Islam's holiest site and simultaneously seize control of his foundational texts. Possessing those earliest transcripts, imagine the power that could give a group, the potential to reinterpret, authenticate, or even challenge the basis of an entire world religion.
Destruction and acquisition. That implies a much deeper, maybe even more terrifying long game.
It certainly leaves you wondering about the true scope of the conspiracy.